7:12 on WTIC. I have to be honest with you. I'm in a little bit of a funk this morning. I don't know why I was up late last night, and
a funk. Art Garfunkel.
I
get it.
No,
I get it. That was a play on.
No, that just happened. So a little Saturday motivation here. I've got to gather myself together, and this has been just a disaster so far. So, although we did have the farm report, and that's always a good thing.
Gene sounded good.
Well, Alden Davis is here, and this perhaps could be the motivation. Alden, you may know, does consulting work some consulting work all over the world, for that matter. And
this is right.
And he's an engineer by training, but he's developed a system for life.
And that's what we're talking about today, the purity paradox. How pure do you want your drinking water?
Yeah.
Everyone these days seems overly concerned about the purity of what goes into their bodies. But it's out of vogue to be concerned about the purity of character, what comes out of me. Be here after Weather and Sports as Coach is going to give you some heat about pandering and purity, or the purity paradox. Do you think purity of character is important? Get ready by reviewing today's link at myvaluetree.com under Star Power.
Okay, we can do this. And, of course, all the time we'll be enjoying donuts from Luke's Donut Shop in West Avon. Ollie has some fresh ones out, so they're pretty darn good. So
it's a nice morning to be out there.
Nice variety this morning. The official donut purveyor of the Saturday Morning Funhouse. All right, so there you go. See ya, 722 on WTIC News Talk 1080. All right, I guess we're going to school now, big guy. So, okay, let's talk about purity. Purity of water, purity of our bodily fluids, purity of... Wait a minute, now I'm in Dr. Strangelove. You ever thought about fluoride and mandrake? Anyway, here's Alden Davis to talk about purity.
Saturday morning, start of the Memorial Day weekend, summer wardrobe comes out. Seersucker goes on, and here we are together. Thank you for being with us. And for all who have died so that we can have this day, we salute you and honor your families. The courage shown in the midst of adversity is an encouragement to us all. Did you know that courage is one of the 4 cardinal virtues of ancient Greece? Brace yourself, because Coach is bringing the heat to you right now with today's coaching session.
Whoa, bring it on.
The last 3 sessions have focused on the importance of community, the people around you that make life possible, the people around you that carry you through the impossible times. Well, you don't have much of a community when everyone around you lies, cheats, steals, and rigs the game in their favor. When behavioral anarchy is the norm. Why is everyone obsessed with the purity of the water and food that goes into them, but seems totally fine with the impurities that flow out of them? Today, I would like you to ponder purity with Coach. Purity means the absence of contaminants. People take it as a righteous cause to free us of contaminants in our drinking water, free us from GMOs, keep us from bovine growth hormones. But talk about purity of your heart and purity of character, and now you've gone too far. We have a great paradox here. In an effort to stay pure, I pollute. Are you familiar with the industry of content moderation? In your Facebook and Twitter feeds, how many of you are exposed to genital pictures, animal torture, suicide bombings, and beheadings? How often must you sift through streams of unwanted hate speech and filth? You don't deal with this, not because it doesn't exist, but because you are protected from it. There are over 100,000 people in content moderation, that's the size of Hartford, acting as filters, keeping your data streams pure. They are the filth eaters who must digest the worst people have to offer. As you can imagine, depression and burnout make these very tough jobs. Gravity pulls me down. The chair keeps me up. Depravity pulls us down, and standards keep us up. Remember the story this past week of the guy who found the $2,000 bank deposit and turned it in? That, to me, is an example of purity of character. This person represents the type of people I want to work and live with, as compared to the guy who robbed the bank in Avon last weekend. Purity of character is important. Ask my colleague Jim. Jim used to own a bar, and he said it was the worst experience ever for him. Everyone steals, he would say. If you were not there always watching, they would overpour drinks and short the till. Someone was always stealing from you. Finding a person you can trust as an employer is incredibly valuable. Does purity of character count? Coach believes it does. Without any kind of standards, people become unbridled, unrestrained, undisciplined, uncontrolled, and unpredictable. When this happens, my financial, physical, emotional safety are at risk. If people around you were bottles of water, would you drink from them? What about you? What would your purity level be? In a world of thieves, the pure person is a treasure. Coach believes purity makes you unique. You make this happen by having virtuous standards in your life. Virtue means excellence in good habits. The early Greeks gave us the 4 cardinal virtues of wisdom, fairness, self-control, and courage. The Catholics added faith, hope, and love, giving us the 7 virtues. I have a link posted at myvaluetree.com under Star Power to a website called Virtue Science. They have 123 virtues listed for you with definitions. You feel good after reading them. How many of them can you claim today? This list becomes your filter to help clean out impurities. Years ago, our house had what was described as a dirty well. It was muddy, and it meant we needed a good filter in the line, one that needed changing with frequency. My life may be muddied as well, and occasionally the filter in my mind needs changing. This list of virtues is that filter. Spend some time thinking about these. Talk to your children and grandchildren about them. Talk with your employees about them. Coach does not believe these virtues are like pre-installed software on new computers. They are not. We must work at them. Can you keep a confidence? Can you refrain from gossip? Is it hard to take the high ground when everyone else is in the mud? There is a world pandering, catering to the weaknesses and desires in others. There is a world modeling actions opposite the virtues. We create the world we live in. You must decide who you are and how pure you want to be. This is some of the toughest work you will do. The world praises water purity standards and mocks a person for sexual purity. We block GMOs but give a nod to kickbacks. We demand health scores in our restaurants but think nothing of lying to a customer to close the sale. We demand our cars meet emission standards but lack the same enthusiasm when it comes to weeding out corruption. We want our vegetables to be free from chemicals, yet seem to think it okay to sleep with the boss for a promotion. Spend as much time keeping your mind pure as you do watching the foods that go into your body, and we can create a wonderful community. Get the link for the virtues at myvaluetree.com. Stay pure. I'm Coach Davis.
Well, let's go through those virtues. I'm 0 for 4. I could be in the Red Sox starting lineup. It's 7:29 on WTIC. Let's take a short break. We'll come back and the news next.